everybody. My name is Jenny Gaither. I am the founder of Movemeant Foundation. I am also a confidence life business coach, and I'm the creator of Notorious Fit, which is a cardio hip hop class for all levels, dancers and non-dancers. I'm so excited to be here with you and partnering with Light and Fit and Movemeant Foundation to provide you with tools and encouragement and hopefully some inspo to take your life right now and focus on you and what makes you feel joy and what makes you feel good, especially during this time. We all deserve that. So when I go and rack my brain around the things that really bring me joy and groundedness, it's always mindset and it's movement. And the two combined is sort of that beautiful, magical recipe of change in a great way. So I want to talk today about mindset. We have 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So that's a lot of thoughts. And if we are falling towards the negative spectrum in terms of our thought processes, we tend to feel pretty negative, right? So one thing that is very true is that your thoughts create your feelings. So if you are allowing your thoughts to be a little more passive, meaning you're allowing your environment to control what you think, whether it be the news, the media, anything outside of yourself, that's what I call like a passive thought. That can really impact you negatively, and you're going to start feeling lower and your energy is going to be lower and you might not be as motivated. So to override those thoughts and sort of the scarcity mindset of the unknown and the fear of no control, the fear of not having the answers right now, in order to override that, we really have to put in the extra work on overdrive, on the positive thinking. Now, law of attraction is a real thing. What you put out there, you're going to start seeing manifest in different ways. It's not just a faith mindset. There is actual science behind it. When you start believing that we will be okay, there's enough resources to go around for all of us, love is real, this is not forever. When you start believing more positive, uplifting thoughts, your actions change. You actually start putting things into place for yourself that actually feel better. Whereas if your thoughts are more on the negative, lower spectrum, that's going to keep you more complacent. That's going to keep you almost stuck in that space. So the positive thoughts actually produce positive actions. And that's what I want to talk about today, is that we have so much more control than we think we do, right? So one, we have to learn to protect our energy. What does that mean? Limiting the amount of social media that we're looking at a day, limiting the amount of news that we're listening to, reading a day. Be informed, be in the know, but also don't allow that energy to consume you, right? There are actual statistics around the fact that if you consume negative news all day, every day, you are going to feel that and you could develop PTSD and things like that. So in order to, again, override that negative thought process and that negative energy, you gotta seek out the positive. So there is positive news out there. There are people on social media promoting, doing really cool things, COVID-19 relief funds out there that could make you feel hopeful, make you want to get up and do something that day, whether that be working out or doing something for yourself or giving back to the community. So really seeking out the positive and being really mindful of how much time you spend looking at the negative. Secondly, I'm going to talk you through a technique that I use. It's similar to meditation. It gets you right back in your body pretty quickly, and you can do it from anywhere. And I think this is a great skill to practice to know where you're at, because when we are in fight or flight or in survival mode or in crisis, we tend to either hit the gas pedal really hard or we hit a complete stop. And when I mean hit the gas pedal really hard, we just fill up our plates with a lot of stuff and we stay really, really busy to sort of numb and self-soothe. Or we get really depressed and we do the opposite. We don't move forward at all. So this technique really helps you figure out what you're feeling, what's going on in your head, so that you can make the necessary changes and find relief almost instantly. So it's called ATF, Awareness, Thought, Feeling. And basically what you do is you find a space anywhere. I was doing this on a park bench today. You could do it in bed. You can do it at your desk, literally in between meetings, wherever you are, sitting on your couch, sitting on your floor, wherever you have the space, in the shower. And the first step is awareness. So to create any change, you have to be aware. You have to be aware of what's going on with you. What are the thoughts that are creating the feelings? What are the thoughts that are driving the scarcity, driving this sort of anxiety-driven, fear-based worry that you're not going to be okay? Because no one's saying that but ourselves, right? So we have to change that narrative. So the awareness is the most important thing. And the way to tap into awareness is really to just tap into what you're feeling physically. So that's all physical sensations, whether it's like tightness in your chest, stiff neck, maybe you're really warm. So start thinking of just like physical sensations that you feel in your body. And start doing a full body scan. So start at the top of your head and then move down through your toes, right? And it's like, what are my shoulders doing? What do my shoulders feel like? What do my hands feel like today? Like, where is there pressure in my head or in my jaw? Just start to sort of analyze without judgment. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's basically just pulling you back into your body. So first step is awareness. Second is thought. So noticing the thoughts that are occurring and reoccurring, sort of like patterns over and over in your head. Which thoughts stand out? Which thoughts are a little maybe not as positive as you'd like to be? What are the thoughts that are not serving you? What are truth? What are lies, right? So to have the awareness and then to really recognize the thoughts that are swirling around is so important, because so much of the conversation in our head of the 60 to 80,000 thoughts is not real, right? We are creating those thoughts. So we can gain that power back by changing them. If we're creating them to begin with, we can change them. That's the beauty of it. That's where the power and the control comes from. That's why we feel relief through this exercise, because the thoughts that are swirling around in there, they can stay as they are, or you can change them if you want to. You have that power to do that. So noticing what the thoughts are, and I think it's really good to acknowledge at least 3 that really stand out. You can write them down, or you can just make a mental note. And then notice what those thoughts, last acronym of the ATF is F, is feeling. What are the feelings that those thoughts are creating? Is it anxiety? Is it fear? Is it emptiness? Right? So a lot of people, myself included, are really isolated right now. I live alone, and I live on the Upper East Side in New York City. And I am alone physically, but I have to constantly remind myself that I am not alone. Like, I have many people. I have a large community of people, family and friends, that would do anything for me, that are there for me. And so we have to remind ourselves of what's true, and a lot of what's floating around in our head is not. So to put it on paper, to say it out loud, to just like take a snap of it, is going to be the biggest difference, because once you call it out, once you name it, it doesn't have power anymore. That's the biggest thing. But if you allow the thoughts to sort of take over, again, that's a passive way of operating, then your thoughts are running you. So we have to be proactive, no longer passive. We have to take agency of our life and what is going on in our mindset, especially now, because our mindset is our reality. What we are thinking is literally what we are living in every single day in our apartments and our homes, especially in this time where we don't have access to many things right now. We have to really show up for ourselves. And this is a different way of showing up, right? It doesn't mean doing more. It means being really in tune and actually slowing down and taking moments to pause to feel what's going on. So practice ATF. It takes 30 seconds, awareness, thought, feeling. And then once you have the awareness, you know the thoughts, you have the feelings, you can change them. And the power of changing them is really simple. Let's say that you are feeling like you just don't have enough time. You don't have enough time for yourself, right? You are managing your kids, homeschooling. You are also working from home, in that thought of, I don't have enough time. That might be somewhat true, but the thought itself isn't serving you, right? Because the more you think it, the more anxiety you're going to have. So to change that thought, you want to change it to something that actually makes you feel better. So going from I don't have enough time to I have all the time in the world isn't realistic. And it's probably not going to make you feel better because it's not true. So finding a thought that is sort of in between is what I call a transit thought. it gets you from being stuck, don't have enough time, to I have all the time in the world, which is unrealistic as well. It's sort of like that in between. And a transit thought is beautiful to me because it has energy to it. There's potential to it. You're not stuck anywhere. It's always in motion. So an example of that could be, I'm learning how to create more time for myself. I'm practicing making space for myself in the mornings. I'm learning how to manage my time during this crisis. I'm getting better at creating space for myself in order to show up for my kids and work. So it's a thought. Transit thoughts are thoughts that have truth to them, but they are not stuck in a place that you don't want to be, right? There's growth, there's potential, there's opportunity, and that's what gives you energy. And I think that's where motivation comes from. It comes from potential. It comes from potential growth. It comes from potential in opportunity and transformation in something better. And that's why people get up and do things, right? That's the definition of motivation. It's that something can be different than what it is. So try this in the morning, try this in the middle of the day where you're feeling sort of a low in your energy, or just when you need a reset. It's such a beautiful, easy way to sort of reset your mind, reset how you feel, and move on with your day. I know we can all be hard on ourselves, and as we adapt and as we adjust to this new time, there's no right or wrong way to do it. So we're all navigating this together. We're all figuring this out together. It's just been really awesome to be able to sit here and be with you. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my tips, and I hope that they help you out.